Hello folks, now tensions appear to be rising and they're rising very, very fast. Now folks, we have this article here by BBC and it says that North Korea accuses US of declaring war. Now North Korea's foreign minister has accused US President Donald Trump of declaring war on his country and says that Pyongyang, I believe it's Pyongyang, but my North Korean pronunciation is not the best. Anyway, so basically the foreign minister has said that North Korea has the right to shoot down US bombers. Now this comes, folks, a few days after the US sent a number of highly advanced stealth fighter jets and bombers near North Korea and possibly into North Korean sovereign territory. Now these bombers and aircraft are very, very advanced, and because of that the North Korean government had to actually find out through the official White House and Pentagon briefings which they upload on their website. Now the White House has responded to this claim by saying it is, quote, absurd, and the Pentagon has warned North Korea to stop its provocations, which I butchered that pronunciation too. Now a UN spokesman has said that a fiery talk like that can lead to fatal misunderstandings, and these comments were in response to Donald Trump's tweet that the North Korean leadership may not be around much longer. Now that is a quote from Donald Trump, quote, be around much longer. So here Trump is issuing a very direct threat to North Korea that the whole country could be completely wiped out if Donald Trump decides it is the best course of action to take. And folks, the rhetoric has been spiking. Now, I do understand that the historical significance of rhetoric between the North Korean side and the US side, it has been overstated in the past. There's been lots of similar stuff like this in the past. But folks, we have North Korea and they've tested a nuclear bomb. And this bomb was very, very capable compared to the last year's nuclear test. So Trump does have reason to fear that North Korea may be continuing to take hostile actions, and these hostile actions may actually realize themselves into a direct military threat against the US or its allies. Now continuing on, folks, it says that since the United States declared war on our country, we have every right to make countermeasures, including the right to shoot down United States strategic bombers even when they are not inside the airspace border of our country. Now folks, this is a very interesting comment because we have North Korea who has been firing ballistic missiles over Japanese landmass, over Japanese land, and they're playing the game right now that it's okay, I'm not touching you, you can't respond with force, I'm not technically touching you. So here North Korea is saying that basically, even though the US is playing a similar game that North Korea has been playing, where they're technically not violating North Korea or Japanese airspace, it's still pretty goddamn close. Now, I found this fantastic analogy online on an online comment, and it basically said that North Korea was the crazy neighbor who is waving around a gun and firing off shots towards a person. Now, most of these shots technically miss the person, but they do go very close. And while this person is firing off these shots towards this other person, he's saying that since I'm not technically shooting at you, since I'm not technically shooting you, you can't respond. And I believe that this does give the United States justification to engage in a conflict with North Korea, because it appears that over the last year the North Korean government has gone completely crazy. And I just don't understand it, folks. Why would the North Korean government act in this manner? They have a whole country under their control, and they do have a nuclear deterrent that they can use to stop the US or other Western countries from invading them. Technically, North Korea should be able to sit back, relax, drink a cocktail, something like that, and they'll be completely fine because they do have a nuclear deterrent. But instead of that, North Korea has been acting increasingly hostile by sending these ballistic missiles over Japanese territory. And right now there's a very complicated geopolitical situation with how China will react to a possible military engagement between the US and North Korea. because China at the moment has actually pledged to defend North Korea if North Korea is attacked by the US. That's the theory, at least. If North Korea starts the attack, then China will sit back and not do anything. But if the US starts the attack, then China could get involved. And this is very complicated because the US and China's economy, they are extremely interwound to the point where if they do engage in military action against each other, the economic effects would be absolutely devastating. Now, folks, what do you think about this? It is a very interesting development that North Korea, the spokesperson for North Korea, the foreign minister for North Korea, not just a news service, not just a state-run media company, but the actual foreign minister of North Korea has accused the United States of declaring war on their country. Now, technically, the US and North Korea, they're still at war. If you look at the the Korean War, there was only an armistice signed. And this has been proven time and time again when we have North Korea shelling South Korean islands and actually abducting people, murdering people on the South Korean side of the border. So technically the nations are still at war, they're just not making any military action against each other. So anyway, folks, what do you think about this development? It is very, very interesting. Now, I do have a clip here that I'm going to play you, and this clip is very fascinating because you get to see a statement from the North Korean representative.